Hiya. Right. Hello. Well, I live in Canterbury, which is about 2.5 hours on the train from here. It took me bloody ages to get here, so in the same time I could have gone from Brighton to Canterbury and saved myself 5 minutes with a tailwind. But so yeah, Canterbury's a city, it's got a cathedral, it's sort of religious, it's the same things, coffee shops, bars, restaurants, all that sort of stuff. We've had a little bit of influx with drug taking recently, or drug users. I think that's due to all the potholes everywhere. Other than that, it's not bad. It's a nice place to be. It's a nice place to be. A lot of charity shops. And the thing I don't quite get with the charity shops is I think you go in them, but you still look through the labels. You are still label orientated. So if you see something from 2, which is like Tesco's or Sainsbury's or something, for 50p, it's like, no, I'm not really going to buy a pair of jeans for 50p. Oh, there's a pair of Leeds jeans there for £1. I'll have them. And then what is the difference between a charity shop and a vintage shop? Is vintage just slightly older and more money? So you can buy a 20-year-old pair of jeans in a vintage shop for 20 quid, a new pair for 40 quid, or go to the charity shop and get for £1. It's just snobbery, basically. So that's the vintage sort of side. So so you'll buy a pair of vintage clothes. No, we'll go back. I'll step back on that a little bit. When you're growing up, you don't want to be like your parents. That's where I'm going. Yeah, you don't want to be like your parents, but yet you shop in these vintage shops. So you buy these vintage clothes, and who do you look like? Well, I don't look like my dad, filming there, and I certainly don't look like my mother either. But that's who you end up being like. So you don't want to be like your parents, but you shop in these vintage clothes, and you buy clothes that they probably chucked in years ago, and you pay more money than they pay for. That's silly, really. And where will we go? So about the video, it's been a long day. It's been a very long day. It's longer for you lot as well. So yeah, with these vintage clothes and vintage shops and stuff, it's just you're paying more money to be like them. And then how many people have parents that's still alive or functioning, or can go to the toilet themselves? Anyone? Can I have a bit of feedback? Yeah. Yeah. So another question. How many of your parents have told you to act your age? No. Yeah, I know you have. Anyone else? Who's been told to act their age or grow up when they're younger? So, you're younger. So what age do you want to grow up to? Oh, I'll grow up. I'll be 16. I can go to smoke. I'll be 18. I can do that. I'll be 40. I mean, where does it end? How growing up can you get? Do you grow down? Do you get to 60 and you grow down? Your mum and dad, if they're still alive, they'll say, "Oh, grow down." That'll be fun. And so what I was thinking, fair enough, life begins at 40, you get 40, you'll act your age and stuff, fine. But what age would be the best age to act? And is there one? Is 18 the best age to act? Because you can have a beer? Not particularly. And it come to me. I'll just, wait a sec, little bunny rabbit there. Right. And the best age I thought to act was the year following your 68th birthday. Because you won't have teeth by then. And what age will you be at that? After your 68th, what's your next birthday? It'll be 69. And I think that'll be a great age to act as. And it'll be a bit of fun as well. And as I say, you get a bit of suction going if you've got no teeth, you're just gums. But anyway, enough about me. My whole thing that I was talking about today, and it's going to do you lot a bit of it might help you. Does anyone get a bit pissed off with sort of management, middle management, or just generally anyone who pisses you off? Because I've hatched a plan that's going to help you. And it is for me really, because working away, I've had to do this. And what I thought was, I'm working in the office, I'm a bit annoyed with my boss. So what have I had to do? Well,
kill him.
No, I don't want to, no, that's too drastic. All I want to do is cause him a bit of physical and mental pain. Because I think that would be a bit of fun for me. Because it is all about, everything is about me, basically. And revenge. It might lead to death in the end, and that might be an added bonus, but never mind. Anyway, so the first thing that I want to do is organise for my boss to have some reflexology. But while he's having that, I'm going to nick his shoe. And I'm going to shave off 15 millimetres of the heel of his right shoe. And what's that going to do? Well, that is going to lead him to get a limp. So he'll walk around the office with a bit of a limp, and then when he gets home, he'll change into his moccasins or his casual trainers or whatever, and he won't have a limp. And then he'll go back to work the next day and he'll have a limp. So this limp, in time, will lead to a bit of a hip problem. And this hip problem might lead him to have a bit of a hip replacement. So that is the physical pain. Then, another thing, on his desk, move everything slightly further away. So when he sits down at his desk, he can't quite reach it. And then what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is, he's going to think he's shrinking. Which is always fun, you know. You're going to get old, but he might be middle-aged, so he might not be ready to shrink, but he will think he is. Thirdly, or C, get his mobile phone and put some PVA glue in the earpiece. So when it rings, he'll be able to hear it, but when he answers it, he can't quite hear the person on the other end. So what's he going to think? He's going to think he's going deaf. So we've got a bit of limping, which is physical pain, a bit of deafness, and a bit of shrinkage. Next, I thought what would be fun was go out into the car park. You'd have to do that on a bit of overtime because you couldn't do it during the day when people are there. And his car parking space with the white lines on the tarmac over his white lines. And then paint them back, but paint them back slightly closer together. And this has two effects. Firstly, or secondly, when he parks, it will take him longer to park. So he will lose all confidence in his driving ability. And as he's a male, that's really going to fuck him off. And secondly, because it takes him longer to get in, he'll take longer to get into the office. That's sort of by the by. And if you get keys to his car, open the car and underneath the driver's seat, take a little Hessian bag of glass marbles in a little Hessian sack, pop them under the seat. So when he's driving around and doing turning, all you hear is pop, 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 pop. So he'll just get this little tapping sound. It wasn't a very good tapping sound, but he will get this little tap. He'll get a little tapping sound in his ear all the time while he's driving. And it's just going to irritate him. So again, it's more win-win for me. Another one I thought of was his Facebook page. Hack his Facebook page. And get all his and find all his friends and pay them to unlike him. But don't unlike them all at once. Do them like sort of, I don't know, say 5-6 a week. So he'll just be losing friends on a regular basis. And this is going to lead to a bit of depression. Because if you did it all at once, he'd just be like totally down, get a load of antidepressants, and he'd be alright again. But if you do it gradually, obviously his intake of antidepressants when he goes to the doctors will just go up higher and higher. So the friends will go lower and lower, his antidepressants will go up and higher. And then, when he reaches optimum antidepressants, you get all his friends to re-like him, and he will just have a hedonistic type seizure. And that'll be fun for me. And he'll also be quite cheerful when he's in the office as well, not all the Prozac and shit. And finally, the one is quite a nice little one actually, just looking at the red ceiling actually, it's quite apt. Take his umbrella. Now, you're all aware of umbrellas? We are in England, so I guess you are. And you know the little clip that you press your thumb down onto to open the umbrella? Yeah? No? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, cool. Right, well, what you do is you nick his umbrella, take it home, and file that little thing down so it's razor sharp. So when he puts his thumb on the umbrella, presses down to raise it, he'll split his thumb open, and he'll get blood down his shirt, and that'll hurt as well. So, that's quite nice for me. So I think that it is all about me, and it's all this sort of win-win situation, a victory, minor victories, all that sort of shit. Now, you might be wondering why I've had to do this. You might be wondering, are you wondering? Can you wonder louder? Yes? Okay, well even if you're not, I'm going to tell you anyway. The reason for this is, I got back from holiday 2 weeks ago, a nice warm holiday, and I walked back into the office, put the desk, up to my desk, which is by the window, and what do I see out the window? Nothing. They have put one of these opaque transfers on the window, so we'll let the light in, but you can't see out. Now, are you aware of these things you get in pubs at the bottom there? It looks quite like sort of frosted glass, but it's a transfer. So, I do work reasonably hard sometimes, and I can't see out the window. So that means I've actually got to work all day, and that's just not on. I am English, it's just like, that doesn't happen. So what we've got to do, again, bit of weekend overtime unpaid. I come into work with my extension lead and heat gun. So I walk up to my desk, I'll use this as my desk, and I'll use that as a window. Plug the extension lead in, plug my heat gun into the extension lead, go up to the window, and gradually use the heat gun on the transfer and peel it back, so I can see out, so it's a clear window then. Then, out of my pocket, I get my little spy cam I can stick to the window. So I stick this spy cam to the window, get my heat gun, peel it back up again, so you can't see it. So no one will know beneath that transfer is my spy cam. So Monday morning, I'll come back to work Monday morning, and I'll get onto my phone, and on my app, my spy cam app, I will activate it. And then I can look at my mobile phone, which I'll pop there, and I can see out the window, because my spy cam is activated, and my boss will not know I can see out the window. And that makes my day a lot better. And I can see the car park, and it's great. Why the fuck has he put this thing on me that I can't see out into the car park? It's lovely, it's a great view. What do I want to do? So that's it. So that is what makes me the winner, makes me better than the boss. He might think he's better, he might get paid more, but fuck him. I am better, I win. So that's great. So that's me, I am Dane. I'm not evil-ish, but no, I like a plan, and it's come together, and it's done well. So that's me done. So thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.